Chapter 10. A Price Worth Paying. We view history as a slow, steady march towards human dominance over nature, towards civilization triumphing over barbarism. What if we are completely and utterly wrong? 27th of December, 2033, 8:45 AM. Phobos, outside Fort Plank. I left the other two with, right, see you back outside, be less than 20 minutes unless Megan needs longer. Then step through the portal. The now familiar sensation of a world folding into a point overtook me. A series of small hops took me first to the geological survey equipment, then onto Fort Plank, with a batch of results to send back to Houston. The readings looked promising for heavy metals, but terrible for volatiles. 10 minutes passed as I transcribed raw data. 10 became 20, then 30. Nothing came over the communicator, apart from a brief burst of static around the 8-minute mark. Absorbed in my work, I kept half an eye on my watch and the Fort Plank computer terminal clocks. The time factor 2-to-1 hint nagged at me. My watch displayed a time hours ahead of the Fort Plank computers, which had remained outside Glass Fall cathedrals. That confirmed the others had experienced more time than me, not less. Hopefully, Megan was just slower at recovering resolve than I was. The friendly fire from Natalia's command had not been pleasant, and I'd have to make sure that it was only unleashed in dire emergencies in future. I bounced back to where Glassfall Cathedral's entrance had been, but the portal was gone. Phobos' horizon fell away quickly, and near it I could see only two of the tetrahedra we'd come to associate with F-rank folded realms. No more dangerous realms were visible, but more importantly, there was no trace of Megan or Natalia. I tried to hail both over comms repeatedly via voice and haptic, but there was no reply. My throat tightened, knowing they were stuck somewhere without me. What was the most useful thing I could do from outside to help? Blue light flickered on the horizon and cut that train of thought short. The complex four-dimensional lattice we'd seen earlier crept back into view, a sea of overlapping and churning shapes jolting towards me. If Megan and Natalia did ask for help, I'd be useless if I'd been swallowed by whatever realm lay beyond that portal. I pushed off hard, taking advantage of Phobos' weak gravity, and fired my suit jets to retreat. The lattice twisted and rotated as I moved, always bearing down upon me, inexorably closing in. I wasn't fast enough to escape, nowhere near. And even if I made it to Fort Plank, what then? Hide inside its walls and hope? No, I would need to hide outside normal reality. I veered towards one of the F-rank portals and fired my jetpack in several staccato bursts. Maybe Natalia and Megan had already taken shelter the same way. As I closed in, the portal sank into the regolith. I could not tell whether it was fleeing me or fleeing the far larger realm bearing down upon us. I burned towards the next one and watched it sink the same way. Out of options, I reached to a point outside reality, to where I had hidden the unique Dominion token, Eternal Library Rank D, the Brimfall villagers had gifted me, a coin said to hold a library outside the world. I didn't know how to activate it, but willing the portal contained within to burst out and envelop me turned out to be enough. The metal warmed, and a portal bulged outward from its surface, swelling to surround me. The 24 cell loomed larger with every heartbeat. I doubted I had even 20 seconds to spare. Dean's voice returned to taunt me as the coin's face changed slightly. Illusion pierced via interaction. Unique Dominion token, Eternal Library Rank D, is actually a disguised Unique Dominion token, Eternal Library Rank C. The former cube motifs on the coin faded and were replaced by octahedra, one of which surged out of the coin and enveloped me. Phobos and the pursuing realm folded into a point, and a new world unfolded in its place. A jolt ran through my boots as gravity took hold. It wasn't Earth level, but it was close. I staggered forward onto a rusty black floor of polished obsidian, smoother than glass, except where intricate, unintelligible symbols had been scraped into the stone. Life support systems confirmed the air here was breathable, and after removing my helmet, I discovered it tasted dry, as if it had been desiccated over millennia. The realm smelled of paper. A familiar voice interrupted, and the words briefly etched themselves into my sight. Folded Dominion, Eternal Library, Rank C, Mana Signature, C50984, Time Factor, 6-1. An obsidian ceiling blocked the sky above me, but to my right I could see a gaping hole in the library structure, lit up by stars and a nebula. This was no contiguous building, but fragments of multiple structures, each on their own island, connected together via a mind-numbingly complex network of enclosed stone bridges. This was not a repository for mere millions of books. Small numbers of books like that could fit in even a medium-sized Earth warehouse. Nor was it home to billions, a number that might fill Earth's largest stadiums to the brim. It held tens of trillions, at a minimum. What sort of knowledge had been kept here? And by whom? And how? This token offered answers, but delivered only new questions. I searched for a book on a nearby wall. Margarites by Homer, the spine read in Latin. I'd heard of it, one of the best known lost works from ancient Greece. With great care, I opened it to exquisite penmanship on every single page. Historians have been right. This was just a comedy about a foolish man. Were any deep meanings intended? They flew right over my head. I replaced the book carefully and marvelled once more at the sights around me. No sooner had the book left my hand than I heard footsteps. Could Megan and Natalia have followed me inside? I turned towards the sound. On an open platform near the edge of the void stood a man. He wasn't moving, and at first glance, he looked dead. His robe was ancient and brittle looking, the colour somewhere between sand and time-worn paper. He held a book in one hand and kept the other free. His eyes were the dull yellow of fossilised amber. He stared at me, his face trying to comprehend the sight of another human being. And then he spoke in heavily accented Latin that a mere 2 days ago I could never have understood. Voice feeble and urgent, like that of a dying man. As quiet as they were, his words commanded utter silence. 12,000 years. 12,200 years in solitude. Why? Why are you rescuing me? I paid this price willingly. Saving my world was worth damnatio aeterna. It's not been enough time. It's far too early for you to prepare for what will now come.